You can only make this recipe every 1,461 days. I know what you're thinking.
What the heck is that?
Let me tell you. Well folks, that is an African dish called a Skrikkeljaar pudding. Skrikkel meaning leap, jaar meaning year, and pudding with that spelling like that basically meaning pudding. For once I know I've got pronunciation right, even traditional English, because we've got help from one of your friends, right?
That's right.
Skrikkeljaar Pudding.
So I was looking everywhere for a leap year recipe. I thought, surely it must exist. And if it doesn't, we've got to go for some really unhealthy 4-year thing that you can have a 4-year diet after eating it, proper unhealthy style. But then we stumbled upon the Skrikkeljaar, which is actually a leap year dessert. So much so that some people say that it's that unhealthy that you should have it every 4 years. The other theory, along with some interesting leap year facts I'll get onto in a moment, is that this is part of Ladies' Choice Day. On the 29th of February, Ladies' Choice meant that ladies would typically propose to men, and if they made this dessert, for example, this was the theory with this, is that it was so good and delicious that the man could not refuse and they'd be happily married eating dessert for the rest of their lives. Here are some interesting leap year facts.
It's the rarest birthday of them all. Only about 5 million people worldwide were born on February 29th. You have a 1 in 1,461 chance of giving birth on leap day. People born on leap day are called leaplings or leapers. Leap day is considered unlucky in some cultures. In Scotland, it's said that being born on a leap day will lead to a life of bad luck. The Greeks deem a leap year an unlucky time to get married, as the union is doomed to end in divorce.
And probably the least exciting fact is birthdays. Pope John Paul III, Superman, and indeed probably the most famous of all, Ja Rule, was born on 29th of February. Ja Rule is currently 47 years old, which actually makes him 11.75 years old. He's not the Grim Reaper, he's the Grime Leaper. Holla! Let's cook. As you'll see on the screen here, there's some fairly standard ingredients. No real like standout ones other than maybe the jam, which is optional. You can do different flavors. In fact, there are spin-off ones with alcohol, currants, even vinegar. I've separated my jumbo eggs, so 3 egg yolks. I went for large ones rather than elephant ones. And the first thing I've got is this dish like so with this lovely little strip here. We'll just get rid of that. We're just gonna grease a baking dish. Now there's one thing, just while I'm greasing this, I'm gonna ask Tom this actually. I was told this by a chef, and this is very on brand for me. The baking powder that we've got down there, apparently, if you don't use it, he told me this, within the first like maybe 3 or 4 weeks of having it, it goes off and does less and less impact. I don't know, have you ever found that?
Did not know that. I have found that some baking powder is less active than others.
If that's happened to you, if you've ever bought baking powder by accident, it's not your fault and it hasn't worked, then let me know. Sugar. Vanilla, and that is apparently optional. If vanilla is optional, in my opinion, always go for it. Butter, egg yolks. Dung 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 dung. Alrighty, I'm well happy with that, and I don't know if it's just me, but it seems to have got like a little bit paler. Right, sift. Yes, in this sieve there is some salt, and I've just put the baking powder on there. Some of it's already got through, but we're just gonna add that in. I'm not always a big fan of sifting, you know. I know it really does help things, but I want to give this the best chance I can, and I just nearly inhaled a load of flour and sneezed like crazy, which would be hilarious. And we're just going to add some milk in to break up those mountains. Look at that. Not too much milk. Just a random thought, if Skrikkel is in Afrikaans for like jump, then Van Halen's song, rather than called Jump, would have been called Skrikkel. I hope I've done this right. I've got the quantities right, because it says the next step is to pour this mixture in, and it's quite rigid. Yeah, it's a little bit dry. I'm gonna get some milk. Milk doesn't stack shelves, no pun intended. Just a little bit more. I mean, we're not making a bookshelf, but you know what I mean. Yeah, beautiful. I mean, with those ingredients, you're expecting a cake batter, so I'll take that. Right, let's preheat the oven. And I'll try and get some on my worktop as well. Absolutely critical to this. So even this is quite rigid to try and like get it to settle actually. It's quite rough. It's got the texture of some extremely over-gelled hair. Half an hour. So for something to do for half an hour, we have got to whip up some meringue. You've seen me do this before, so here's some egg white turning into meringue. Magic. Oh yeah. Oh, lovely colour on that. Get a load of that, Tom. So our egg white goes on there in just a minute. We'll let it cool down, but we keep the oven on. Meanwhile, we made the other recipe that we found, a leap year cocktail, which originated in the 1920s in the Savoy Hotel in London. Apparently, this cocktail recipe on the screen right now is responsible for the most proposals in a day. Ah! That's cold! Cocktail hacks. Oh, that's pretty good actually. I really like that, but there it is just alcohol, isn't it? Oh my gosh! It's really nice. Right, so just scrickled to get my apricot jam, which now gets smothered, a word that I love using in a video, on top. I'm going to go for a couple of good dollops on there. I love this, I love it. And the fact that it's warm, it should spread evenly. You can see it's actually starting to cling like that a little bit. So it's going to take a little bit to break down, I think. I think apricot jam, pineapple jam is my favourite. It's my jam. But what I love is it doesn't end here. We've got the meringue, but we also need milk. We were just talking about this off camera, like what should we do? Like should we poke holes in the milk so it seeps in?
Well, yeah, you're supposed to pour the milk over the top, but it's now covered in jam, which for me is going to act as like a barrier, I guess.
It's not telling me to do that. There is cracks there, but now I've kind of like filled it with jam. It will find its way, right?
We follow the rules, I think.
Yes. Let's see what happens. We'll just pour this on. This is so weird. This is so weird, and why I love cooking. Why I'm pouring milk on jam, I don't know. I was so tempted to what do you think I should do? Leave it?
No, leave it.
Let it bake in?
Follow the recipe, yeah.
See, I would bake that now, and that jam would like caramelise and...
The milk's pretty much all gone your side now.
Oh yeah, it is actually all absorbing, isn't it? So if that wasn't enough, take our egg whites now. See, this is what I love. Like, I'm making clouds. That's amazing. I love about the world of food. Like, I did not know this recipe existed until literally last night. Back in the oven to cook the meringue up. Wow. That looks a bit weird, doesn't it? But it's all good stuff. Whilst that's baking in the oven, thank you so much to the names on the screen right now that support me on Patreon. Let's see what this turns out like. What a weird looking thing that is. Oh my goodness. Like you've got like that sponge cake, that's very hot, I've got to be careful. The milk, which has probably gone into that, the jam, and then that meringue on top. I love the colour it's taken. It's quite lumpy looking. It's best served warm, but I want to actually let it cool down slightly and see if I can get a real good wedge out of this. It's this really weird balance of being like delicate, but also quite firm, which is good. Oh my gosh, come on now. Oh, lift out. Please come out. Oh my word. Look at that, the colour on it. Oh, wow, that looks incredible. This recipe is a combination of quirky, but potentially also delicious. We've been waiting 4 years for it. Let's see if it's worth it. Oh my gosh. That was like putting my fork through a wet car sponge. Oh, I actually really disliked that at first. The texture of the meringue was a bit like almost rubbery, but then the jam came through and saved the day. You're not really getting any of the milk, it's kind of been absorbed, but you're getting a really nice wet sponge. That's actually really cool. I love it. I don't know why, part of me wants to put like honeycomb on it, like crunchy bits, but blooming stonking.
That's lovely. The egg white's nice and pillowy, soft, a little bit tender on the top. Jam's really nice, hit of sweetness.
I love what the jam does, just boom.
And then a nice fluffy sponge underneath.
The milk has kind of helped there. I think if it was dry, it might have been a bit like...
I was worried about how dry it was going to end up.
Yeah.
Because it spent a lot of time in the oven.
And also not poking the holes, but we saw how that did actually absorb in. It's like, oh wow, like... If I've ever got like a cake now that's like a little dry, I mean, I don't really want to rebake it with the milk in, but you could definitely go, if I make it again, I would maybe add a touch, because that, wow. Right, see you in 1,461 days.